So, another video. Y'all can tell. Eric's already been busy. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So, before we even dive into what's going on over here, we're gonna go over here. I got a new engine modification. That's not even an engine modification. We put some shit on the wall. I'm stupid stoked on that. Why? Because this may be a garage, but it's also my gym. And tires and rubber get in the damn way. Not no more. So, right here, timing chain kit. Boom, boom, boom. We got lifters, we got rockers, and we got an Eric. So, what's going on up here today? We are tearing down the front of the engine once again. One of the big problems we were having when we started the vehicle is we were pulling codes for cam position sensor. She was idling a little bit rough until you got her higher into the RPM range. All attributed to, well, the timing being a little bit off. It's okay though. We got some more things in. Shout out to my boy TexXXT. We got zip ported lower. I don't know if you can see over there, right behind Eric in his ponce. But you see that shiny thing right there beside the blower? That right there? That's port and polished throttle body, 80mm, with a brand new fresh gasket. So we're gonna go ahead and put all of that stuff on today. But timing chain has to come off, which means water pump has to come off, which means thermostat housing has to come off. And he's already pulled the oil pan, right there. And he's gonna be doing some timing. And with that, we're probably gonna bug Eric a little bit today and have him kind of walk us through how all this crap works, because this is way outside my realm of knowledge.
Well, we need to definitely walk through it. That way everybody can kind of understand, you know, if they want to do this stuff. I mean, with the timing chain, the way it actually is set up is extremely difficult to get. You know, I mean, I'm probably maybe two links off, and I mean, it's just gonna happen sometimes. You know, you can't cry over spilt milk.
But the difference right there, and we talked about this last week, that 1 to 2 throws off the VVT in here. So you have a dual overhead cam. One controls intake, one controls exhaust. But as you go lower in the RPM range, to be able to control the actual VVT and get better gas mileage, it actually slows down the cam duration in order to make it more fuel efficient. Problem with the two sprockets, 2 links off, is you throw off the timing, and what could happen there, like, we're not worried about it so much as to like damage the engine, because we would have heard tinging instantly, which is where the valve is striking the top of the piston. But we also know that we beat the ever-living shit out of this engine. Yeah, I mean, it's not with throwing the codes, you might be able to go in there and reset the sensors, but I mean, if you do that, you're still prolonging something that could be worse. So there's no sense in it. Just redo it. I mean, it sucks ball sacks, but I mean, you know, I played around for 3 hours possibly, and I got down that far yesterday. So it's not really that well, I mean,
anymore.
All we've learned at this point is you're a one-man pit crew for this damn car.
Well, I mean, once you get to a certain point on it, it's just like it's kind of so repetitious that it's not even a issue anymore. So
yeah. So that's coming off. And then we're going to be pulling the valve covers, which means we have to pull the coils, we have to pull the plugs, we're going to be changing out the lifters and the rockers. And then it's about really putting it all kind of back together. Yep. RVTing everything, and then next week we'll throw fluids back into it and hopefully have this slut going up and down the road. Now, another thing I want to teach everybody. You see this damage right here to the garage floor?
Oh yeah.
So if you're doing the AFE callus downpipes, okay, make sure that the connecting clamps are turned 90 degrees.
Well, make sure they're not
pointed straight down.
Pointed straight down.
Yeah.
And I did that because I could get to it easier. So I thought, well, you know, we'll just do it that way. Well, you know, we just didn't work out so well.
Well, one of the key things we forgot there was this. This thing is lowered to the maximum on BC racing coilovers. So she's pretty damn low.
She is low.
So those bolts maybe extend inch, maybe an inch and a quarter. And that was too low for this lip getting out of my garage.
Too low for a fat hose.
Oh yeah. I'm the only tubby thing allowed in this car, but she did that.
Yeah.
So
And
you're putting those pipes
on.
yeah, dude, that was a sketchy moment because he had to give it a little bit of torque on a motor that wasn't broken in yet. Step one, but a little bit of torque to break over that without hitting that back wall. And I don't know if you can tell, there ain't a lot of room right there. Very sketchy moment, but we're gonna dive into it. We'll go check in with everybody step by step, and then when her 5.0 gets back, or her Stingray now, the ZR1 front bumper's on it. And hey, so this whole timing chain kit comes with everything: sprockets, comes with new shaft, comes with all the new chains, the tensioners, guides, everything. For those of you who have a Pentastar engine, whether it be in a rental car or a race car, these plastic guides go through a shitload of heat, because I don't know how to break this to you, but our engines put off a lot of heat, which inlet, like, they're nice. They're super nice. And there'll also be one less thing we have to worry about on the engine later on. So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so all this around here right now, that's RVT. It's all being stripped off. But, like we were saying, timing was an issue. And after talking to a couple of different shops, including Bailey's, Y-Tech, a couple of Mopar guys, they actually told us, instead of just doing the relearn process, which some of you did recommend, they said to check the timing because it sounded like the timing was off. Well, that's been confirmed.
It's off. You know, and I mean, like I said, it's gonna happen. I mean, you've got issues when you start rotating all this stuff that, you know, chains end up moving around and stuff. So these two lines are supposed to line up perpendicular, and these two arrows also. So we look like we're just a little off. You know, not anything major.
It's literally 1 or 2 links. It's not nothing even crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not terrible. We did find out that the motor was a little older than what we originally assumed. So we're going to go ahead and do the timing chain shit because we don't want. You know, like I've always said, we're already here, and this is the second time we're here.
Yeah.
Might as well do it.
Might as well do it because all that's going to do is it's going to extend the longevity of the engine anyway. Just like with the heads, we're planning on doing the roller rockers on there anyway. And the biggest reason why on that too is when he was tearing this down, we had a couple that were stuck. If we're in here again, it only makes sense. The lifters and the rockers aren't even a hard thing to do.
No.
You literally just have to remove the caps and take off the cams.
Yeah.
Go in there, switch out the lifters, switch out the rockers.
And then since we're actually taking these off already, you had to have this off anyway.
Yep.
So, you know, taking the cams off really isn't that big of a deal. You know, as long as you have you got to have a really good torque sturdy the bit though.
Yeah.
Like the thing is to get more of an impact bit because, especially if you haven't taken these off yet, they tend to stick because this is aluminum and this is steel.
Yeah.
And they tend to stick once they're in there and heated up.
And something else to note, these are actually pretty shallow too. So with that, get something that, like he said, is actually pretty damn strong. Otherwise, it's going to be very easy to strip those. And we stripped them on the other head, but of course, you know, now we got them out the yin yang. So if I do strip one, we're okay. For damn sure.
we're okay-ish. So
hey, just so you guys know, we're opening a parts store. By the way, any Pentastar part you need, we've got triples.
Pretty much.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tear down the rest of this and
continue playing.
Let's get it.
So when you're going to start taking these off, of course you want to get all your timing chains. Get all your timing chains off. Means this will come off, which will actually leave your sprocket for your crank and your oil. From this step, there's a plate that goes across the. Let's go step over there. There's a plate that crosses the right here. This plate, you take this plate off, and then there's a 45T that holds the oil pump gear on there. You take that off. If you can't get into there with a bit, just get a bit and then put a wrench on the bit. Take it off. Works out really well. All right. So once you get to that point, you're ready to take the cams back off. And of course, the reason why we're doing that is because of the rockers and everything.
Yeah.
So there's a position on these cams where you can turn it, and on the driver's side bank, you're going to have to go this way with the cam on both of them, and it's called a rest position. And the rest position means that none of the lobes are actually pushing down on the valves. So none of them are pushing open on either side. And you do that on both sides, and then that's when you're able to loosen your caps. Because if you don't do that, you know, you'll end up bending your camshaft when you take these off, because it's still going to be under a lot of pressure because of the valve springs. So you get them in a neutral position, and then you go ahead and take them off. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And then I'll show you what we do when we go to put everything back together too.
We'll save you a massive ass headache.
Yes, a lot of headache.
Now, the reason we're doing this first is because the cams have to be removed in order to put in the new lifters and rockers.
Yes.
You do not want to set up and start working on the timing chain and then realize, holy shit, we missed an entire step.
Yeah, and then also when you turn your motor, you only turn it clockwise, because that's the actual rotation of the motor. You don't want to turn it backwards, because you can end up causing some problems. So once you pull these off, you can actually see they're pretty well marked.
Hold it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty well marked. So, you know, if you really do screw up, they are marked very well. But, you know, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just lay them up here. You do one cam at a time. Make sure you get that done correctly. No big deal.
Boom. Let's put some parts in, dog.
Put them in.
So Eric's over here getting the timing set back up. Cams are locked back down. Once the timing's put back on, we can RVT and put the timing cover back on. And the, what? The oil pan. And then give that time to set until next week, and then we'll put some fluids in her, get her started back up. But one of the things I wanted to show you guys, just like the video we were talking about the other day, the ZR1 front bumper is on the Corvette. So let's go take a look at that. All these damn white ass cars. Look at this mamma jamma. What? So I can already hear people in the comments, oh my god, the colors don't match. Yeah, we know. Like I said in the last video, there is a full color change coming. But a lot of people seem to complain about, what is it, Extreme Online Store, EOS. The fitment's pretty good. This whole thing will be going into Linear Automotive, more than likely this week, to get the fenders and the bumper reset, just to, you know, get the absolute best fitment possible. And then we do have a set of wheels and NTO5s on the way as well. And then she's gonna go out for a color change. Wasn't too many of you guys last video actually put in a guess, so I don't know. Y'all tell me, are you even interested in the Corvette? Because I mean, whether you are or aren't, I'm still gonna do content on it, but you guys don't seem to be so jazzed about it. And well, I want the hype to be real when me and her race the first time. Anyway, let's go finish up the Challenger for the day. Okay, one more quick hit, because I think it's gorgeous. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sexy that my girl can do things like that on her own. She literally did this by herself yesterday. I just had to crack a boulder, push a clip in. Hard life. All right, so timing is dead.
Okay, so the biggest thing here is, so your cam idler sprocket, whatever you want to call it. So you have a divot on this one right here, okay, and then you have your divot over here that indicates top dead center, so you have that there, and then this goes straight up like that. Okay, once you get this chain on and your old chain on, you go ahead and put these two on, and you let the tensioner tighten this up. That way this isn't really going to move. So I don't think you can see it, but anyway, so once you get that on there, then you're going to do your driver's side bank, and you take both of your cams off, your oil control valves off, and your cam phasers off, and you run your line up. You see that arrow in this link? Mm-hmm. That line's up there. This arrow points this way. Then you line that cam dot with that link, and your arrows this way. And then you run.
So what he's saying is right here, the arrows are pointing at each other.
The arrows are pointing on this way, and then you run your thing. And once you get that on there, you go ahead and you pull your pin out to for your tensioner here. So then you come back over to this side and you do the same thing. You always start on the side that has just the guide on it. Same over here, you started on the guide side. So here you come up, your dot, and on this side you align the 2 lines. Same thing, you come over here, you do this, bam, run it down through there, and you're good and tight, and then you pull your pin. Then you spin this twice. We haven't done that yet, not going to right now. You're supposed to spin it twice, double check on your top dead center on your number 1 side, and then these lines should be the same. These will not be there. It takes more than 2 turns to make those come back just like that. So don't try to do that.
But long story short, where we're getting at, timing be did.
Yeah, we done for the day. Gonna do it. You know, do your YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, share.
Hold on.
Oh.
So this is wide open. I know people are gonna have 9 million questions. I know.
No.
The plan here, it's good. We changed out the lifters, we changed out the rockers, we made sure and put a brand new timing kit on here. We checked the timing. It's good. We used a cam phaser kit. They lined up perfectly. We also recommend that because, well, then you don't have to tear it down again. But the last thing that there is to do, Eric will be coming back later on this week.
Yeah.
We'll be RVTing, and we're going to do a drip down test, and we're going to check all kinds of craziness just to make sure this bitch is as bulletproof as possible.
Yeah.
And then we're going to throw fluids back in there and fire her ass back up.
Yeah.
With the ported lower, with the ported upper, with the 80mm throttle body, with a different oil cooler.
And me going commando. Oh.
You wear underwear? Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all the crazy shit. Stay savage.